Jay here for Stretford, Paddock, Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. Joining me is the great Alex Baggers with a big smile on his face and the greatest footballer in the world, well, one of them, on his chest as well.
What a guy.
Baggers, sum up how you feeling after that epic
I
win.
feel as good as your voice. No, not as good as your voice. Where's he gone, mate? I know you had a good time to watch along. Did you get too excited with the goals?
I got a little bit too excited, a little bit giddy at my age. A bit of shouting.
Honestly.
And it's going to take me about a week to recover.
It's always good to be, man. It's been a while, and it's first win under Solskjaer against the Scouts was massive performance. Not just because of the cup. You know, FA Cup, I've said it all week. I'm like, if this was any other team, I would be like, I don't really care. Don't care. Let's just, whatever we do, let's put a good performance in, rotate, rest people. Don't really care where we go through, win the FA Cup or not. The league's more important, but you have to beat the Scouts. And that performance today, we've scored some unbelievable goals. Put them in. They've not beaten anyone since the under-12s of Aston Villa since, I think, the 19th of December. And it's really good to see. It's great to see United absolutely flying at the minute.
Yeah, you talk about the fact we are flying and that Liverpool are struggling, but, you know, that's a very good team we've beaten today, innit? And the manner in which we beat them as well, we didn't have it all our own way. What do you think the difference was, sort of, today and perhaps in past times we've played him? Because even under Ollie, because we haven't had a great record against Liverpool recently, but today we got the win. What do you think the difference has been?
I think they kind of came out at us a bit more. I think that if they'd have been as soon as they got our first goal, if they'd have been clever and just kind of gone, right, let's sit in and defend a little bit more, I don't think we could have. I think they got the players to, you know, not get broken down, but they kept pushing further forward. They kept playing into our hands, and I think that as soon as that first goal went in, I knew we'd score a goal. I knew we'd score a couple of goals today. I fancied us getting back into the game, and as far up as that Trent kept going, as far up as Robertson got going, there was always going to be space for Mason. There was always going to be space for Marcus, but I mean, the little bit of quality I have for Marcus there, that ball to Mason is unbelievable pass. And then for Mason to take the chance, because, you know, he's obviously not been going through his best of form this season. He's not been with all sorts going on. He needed a goal to get himself going. And you could see he was almost forcing things in the first half. He had a couple of chances where he's taken shots where he maybe shouldn't have done. Quality finish. And that got us, as soon as that goal went in, I went, we'll score more goals today. Yes. And that was it. And that's been the feeling all season, really. Well, not all season, but at least in the past 6 weeks or so, is that we'll get a goal. We'll do something. We're going to do something. It doesn't matter if someone else scores. We'll score a goal. And it was like that all today. I always fancied it, and just a bit of extra quality did it today.
You talk about a bit of extra quality, and you know me, I'm not one for feeling sorry for Liverpool, ever. But you almost feel sorry for him when it's like 20 minutes to go and the greatest player in the history of association football comes on in Bruno Fernandes and just takes over, doesn't he? Because, I mean, how do you sum up his performance today? He just comes on and people have been knocking him and trying to come out with these sort of stupid statements like, oh, he's not scored against the top six or whatever. Or the big six, sorry, because he has scored against the top six. And then he comes on today and just dominates the game for the last 20 minutes.
I went all J Marty on Twitter the other day.
Good lad.
Started arguing with people.
Yes.
And
it's the best way. Have you ever pulled over the car because you're arguing with someone on Twitter?
I didn't.
That's the best thing.
I was meant to do.
Hey, I'd done that on a school run once. I was late for picking the kids up.
I was meant to go on a run and didn't because I was arguing with people on Twitter. So I ended up not doing that. And I had to come into work, and I was like, Steve, I've not been able to do my run today because I was arguing with someone. But he was telling me that Bruno doesn't come up in, perform in big games. And do you know what? You can say that on stats he hadn't scored that many goals against the Big Six and things like that. I say Big Six.
But even that's like, what's that? The Big Six? It's not the top
Sky
six. It's not the
Sports'
six that finished sixth last season because he has done well. It's this arbitrary Big Six. It's not the ones with the most trophies or the biggest amount of fans. It's the ones we've decided. It's a lot of bollocks. But sorry, go on.
And, you know, you could always tell that Bruno had that extra bit of quality, and he's been doing it in certain games, and maybe he'd been marked out of games, but coming on against a tired Liverpool team that didn't really, that was a bit all over the place because they'd made subs themselves. He had like little bits of quality, and there's a couple of passes that didn't quite come off that was great. The cross for Cavani as well. That would have been an unbelievable goal. But the free kick, and then this person tended to argue with me today, saying it's only set pieces. But in games, honestly, that's what they said, is that he only does it with set pieces. But in games like against Liverpool, where it's going to be the finest of margins, it's going to be that one bit of quality that does it. Bruno Fernandes has got that. Give me the ball. And I know there was Fred and Marcus standing over it. He moved them out of the way. and decides the game, because they had chances, but you need to have that little bit extra, which Bruno's got at the minute, and to be able to bring him off the bench, that shows how well Ollie's done in the transfer market, how well he's done in rotating the squad. He's timed things. It seems to be timed very well, where we're kind of managing people where not at the risk of getting injured and stuff like that. And if we can keep this squad fit, if you can keep the Van der Beek playing, ticking over and playing a few games like that and coming in and doing a job, you keep Bruno fit, you keep Pogba fit, you can rest people like Martial got a rest, Rashford got a rest in midweek. There's not many other teams that can do that with injuries at the minute, so I think we're in a tremendous position on all fronts, really.
Tremendous position on all fronts. Just before you go, I want to ask you, because you've mentioned him, about Donny van der Beek. He seems to be flavour of the month for a lot of people. Like, there's a meltdown if he doesn't start, and everyone, when he does start, is like, hey, Donny's starting. And I kind of get it, because he's a good player, and I'm not knocking anyone for being sort of, a massive fan of Donny van der Beek by any stretch, but I sort of get why he's not in the team, because you've got Bruno, you've got Pogba, who Pogba's playing superbly, and you've got a defensive midfielder, which isn't usually his job. What did you make of Donny van der Beek's performance today? Do you think he's given Ollie anything to think about?
He looked okay. He had some good touches here and there, but I think the problem with him is that maybe, again, it's a lack of game time. It's the catch-22 with Donny at the minute. I don't think he's ever going to get above Bruno Fernandes at this moment in time, playing the bits he's doing. But, he's got a bit of quality, but just, give it time with Donny van der Beek. If we've got Bruno Fernandes doing what he's doing, you've got Paul Pogba doing what he's doing, you don't need to play him all the time. You can use him in games like today. We've got West Ham in the next round, where he can probably get another game. You'll have the Europa League in a few weeks, which we can push on, rotate players, and still put a very good squad out. And there's going to be games towards the end of the season when you might need to rest Paul Pogba. The run coming up where we've got City and Chelsea back-to-back, maybe resting a couple of players the week before that, give them a bit of time off. We're going to need those kind of things in order to challenge for the title, because we're up there at the minute, we're flying, and to keep that going, you've got to keep people fit. So I think he's going to make it. He's not going to start hundreds of games, which people want him to do, but he'll play a big role in United's running.
Got a big part to play, Donny van der Beek, so let's not panic just yet. No. Alex Baggers, where can people find you?
Baggers_Alex on pretty much everything.
On everything. He's even on TikTok now. He's down with the kids, is our Baggers. Yeah. So make sure you check him out.
Yeah.
Do you argue with people on TikTok? Are you able to do that?
No.
Well, there's no point in me joining, and that sounds like a load of rubbish. So make sure you're checking him out as well. If you're not doing so already, subscribe to the channel. What's wrong with you? Also, check out the members section. We've got a load of good stuff there. Also, as well, while I'm plugging lots of stuff, check out the merchandise section, because we've got some good merch. You know what I mean? Like, check out some of the t-shirts.
And go and watch his podcast with Rennie.
Yes, if you've not seen that, check out Really Millions thing.
It is brilliant. So if you're in a good mood today, go and watch
He's the only man that makes me and Steve Alison shut up for more than fucking 37 seconds. So that's been Baggers. I've been Jay. This has been Stretford Paddock. Manchester United are through to the next round of the FA Cup after beating Liverpool. Thanks for watching.